Hi, I'm Mark at the Caravan Place, and today we're doing the review and setup guide for the Sprite Quattro FB. At the back we can see a little storage locker. Now that's for storage underneath of the bed. If we go to the front, we're set up on the Alco chassis and we've got the 13-pin electrics, the Alco AKS 3004 hitch, and on this one we're set up with butane gas. So we've got a clip-on regulator, so we just have to make sure that the regulator is turned into the off position, and then it's just a good push down and a click, and then just make sure that that's fitted on there correctly. You'll hear it click on when that locks on, and then to turn it on it's just literally turn the connector facing down. Just always make sure once you've finished using the van that that gets turned back off again, and to turn that off it's just a good turn back so that we're in that position there. So again, I'll turn that on. I was going to use the gas now, and then moving around to the offside, we've got the flue, the Truma flue for our heating and hot water system. We've got the Truma pistol grip water pump, so that just literally pushes in, just make sure the blue catch has catched, and then the other end is into our Aquarol. We've got room for roughly 110 amp leisure battery, and then we've got the key switch for our motor mover, and then our 230 volt push in, just as so, and again we've got a little cutout just for our cable. Just behind of the wheels we've got our wastewater outlet, so all of our wastewater from our sinks, our shower, is all going to come out of there. And then we've got our filler for our flush water, so the toilet flush water is this one, and we've put pink chemical, and then the actual cassette is just below. Now to remove this, we'd literally just pull up the handle, pull this out. To empty the cassette, we slide the funnel out, remove the end cap, and then the back button there, that allows air to come in to empty it a little bit easier. Also, just up at the very top, we've got the drain tube for our flush water tank, and we literally just pop the end out and that will drain all of our flush water out for us. And again, this just pushes back in, just make sure that the handle clicks back in, and again that closes back up. As we come into the caravan, just above the door we've got our control panel. Now I've already pressed the power button, and that then comes up and shows us that we've got our electric 230 volt hookup lead plugged in, and that we're on our Caravan battery. If we were using our vehicle and we've got the 13 pins plugged in, we'll get a little light over here just to say that our vehicle is connected also. We can do a view levels, and that will just tell us what we've got either coming off the leisure battery, or we're plugged into 230 volts, we've got our charger, so again we're reading about 13.5 volts. Next on here we've got our water pump. Now before we put the water pump on, there's a few things that we just need to do. Firstly, make sure all of our taps are in the closed position, and then just underneath of our seat here is our winter drain off bung. And again, this time of year now we're going to want to start to drain the caravan down for winter after we've used it. And to do that, we literally pop the little yellow bung into the upright position, we'd leave that in the upright position, and then we'd open all of our taps. So this is why now I'm saying when we come back into the caravan, we need to flip this back down so we're flat, and then close all of our taps, and then we can go ahead and put our water pump on. While we're underneath this seat, we've got our main control panel, so we've got our system shutdown button, so that'll turn all of our 12 volt power off, turn the charger etc off. So we want to make sure that's on first. We've got our charger unit button, so again we just push that in. That will then charge the battery and run the 12 volt from the 230 through the charger. And then for our heating and hot water on the Truma system to work, we need this one pushed in and illuminated. So if you've got no heat coming out the system and you're having a problem, just make sure that one's on. We've then got our main trip switches, and then we've got our fuses, and as we open this little door we've got a little sticker and it just tells you what our fuse is and what our trip switches are for. We can now go ahead and put our water pump on. So it's literally just press our water pump. You'll hear the pump kick in and we can go ahead then get the water through our system. Now if we drain the system down previously and we've got all the water out, it's going to take a good 5 or 10 minutes of coughing and spluttering like this. I've only just drained it very quickly, so the water will come through in no time now. But normal circumstances, if you drain the system, it's going to be coughing and spluttering for a good 5 minutes or so, just to get all the air out of the system, get the water tank full and all the water through the system. We want to do this on the hot and the cold tap, and we also want to do it on the bathroom and on the shower, just to get all of the air out of the system. Once we've got a nice steady flow as we have there now, we know that that system is full of water and we can go ahead and use our heating and hot water, etc. While I'm here, I'll just run the gas through, and again, if we've just put the bottle on for the first time and we need to get the air through the system, the easiest way is on hob rings. And again, to do that we just hold our control dial onto the big flame, let the air come out and get the gas through, and then they'll light up. Again, if you've just reconnected a bottle, it will take a good 30 or 40 seconds just to get all the air out of the system and get the gas through. Once we're into a situation like we are there now and they're all lit up nicely, we know that pretty much all the air is now going to be out of the system and everything will light up on the gas just a little bit easier and quicker. So we'll light up our grill as well, and then we've got our oven just below. One thing just to note with our oven is the shelves need to be in with the little pip at the back. The reason for that is it keeps the grills away from the flame, but also then when you come to have something in the oven, when you pull this shelf out, it's nice and supported there. You can have a bit of weight on there and it's not going to fall out and cause any problems, so just make sure those are in the correct way. Our fridge, to put our fridge on, we literally got the power button here. That will then 9 times out of 10 just go straight over to the gas, so I'll give that a few seconds just to light up on the gas system. Again, it may just take a couple of goes if we've not got all of the gas through the system and we need to get the air through. And you'll hear the ticking noise, and then eventually you'll hear a sound of a flame burning, and that just lets you know then that that's lit up on the gas. If it doesn't light up on the gas the first time, just literally holding the grey button, we can then move to a different selection. We'll select the electric, we press that 2 times and we'll get that light up. For the electric, we just come across and we'll light up our 230 volt plug sign, and then again, if we want to change just our cool setting, we just toggle with our grey button until we get that one. If I just pop it now back to the gas, so I'll hold this one in, our setting will light up, come over to the gas, we'll hit our gas. That will now just try and relight back up on the gas. And again, it may take a couple of times if we've just put a new bottle on, etc. And then once it does light, you'll hear the sound of the gas flame burning. Again, we can then select the power by holding this in twice, the grey button, and we can set what we want that fridge to be running at then. Again, another press will just confirm our settings. Hold that one in again. I can then toggle back over to our electric. I'll turn that up to full power, and that will just confirm it. And again, if we'd got the 12 volt or the 13 pins for the 12 volt on the car, I could toggle and select our battery, and then when we start our car, that will run the fridge then on the battery power. To turn it all back off, it's just literally hold our on and off button and that'll turn it back off again for you. Our heating system then, so we've got our control dial on the top left just above the door. So we're off at the moment. We've then got just our water on 40 degrees, just our water on 60 degrees. We can select just our internal heating, and then we could control with the dial what temperature we want that running to. And then we can run our hot water and our heating together, and again our thermostat then with the 1 to 5 will set our temperature inside. We can then run the system either on gas, we can run it on electric 1 or electric 2, and then we have also got the option for electric and gas on a lower setting, and electric and gas on a higher setting. So if we wanted to boost the heating and run that for a bit longer on gas and electric, just literally just to boost the heat in the Caravan when we first come into it, you can run it on gas and electric. If you've gone onto a site and you're paying for your electric, 9 times out of 10 you're going to probably run it on electric 1 or electric 2, depending on what the site power is that you've got. So again, 90% of the time you're going to want your heating and hot water. If it's in the summer and you just want hot water, as I say, it's 40 degrees or 60 degrees then. Or if you don't want any hot water, we have got just our heating just there. We've got our microwave just above the kitchen area. We've got our different power settings, and then again we've got our little timer that will run on that. One thing just to remember is before you travel, I'd always say to remove the microwave plate. Just pop that underneath of the cushion there for travelling, and that's just not going to have any problems with it falling out and hitting the work surface and causing any damage. All of our lights through the Caravan, we've got our little individual switches on our spotlights and our little lights around the Caravan. We've got our roof lights, which we can put on 2 or 1, and then we've got our little spotlights just over the bed at the back also. And again in the kitchen area, oh the bathroom area, sorry, there's another little light just over our sink. For the bathroom, we've got a little bathroom light, again we can just turn off there. And then our cassette toilets at the back. Our flush water, to put all of our flush water through the toilet, is our blue switch. And then to let everything through, we've got a grey handle which is just at the front there, which would push towards the back to open that up and pull that back forward just to close that all back down again. On the hob, just always make sure that before we put our glass down that they've cooled down sufficiently. Again, if you're going to travel, always make sure that that's fully down. We've catched all of the windows and that all of our roof lights are back down again. Bunk bed, if you want to put the bunk bed up, the little leg at the bottom just holds in, so it's just a little tap out and that will come out and then just lift up. So the leg will fold down. We've then got a little button in the middle just to remove the leg, and that will then sit and make our bottom bed. And then we can just pop the cushions off. We have got all of our bunk guards just underneath of this seat here, which will go onto the bunk bed, and then it just literally folds out. Just watch so you don't get the curtain caught in the side, and then there's little clips just underneath that pop out, and then it just folds out. Base cushions all fold out, so again these would then fit into place. So the bunk bed guards will just fit into the side and they'll stop the children from falling out. Table then can fit into the gap and fill in, and then exactly the same again, our cushions then will just fill in the space for that bottom bed. Again, to put it back, it's just the opposite. And again, it's nice and quick, to be fair. We unpin from the wall. I'll move the table first, and that will then just fold in. And then the cushions just go back in as they were. And again, to put the table back on, we just put it at an angle first, drop that in, and then the leg can just push back into the little holder just on the floor. Hopefully we've explained everything and shown you all through how to operate it. If you do get stuck with anything, just give us a call and we'll happily help you over the phone. Thanks, I'm Mark at the Caravan Place.